Welcome to Mike Dub 27 Day Trader. This is Mike Dub 27, and today we're going to be discussing something different. Of course, we've been talking about Lucid a lot, but I think there is money to be made with Lucid, long and short. So, what I mean by that is if we pull up Lucid Group right here, you can see that just today it started off at $2.82 and made its way to $2.68. Now, going with the trend of what's been happening with Lucid, and you can see the trend right here with the spikes, the dips, the spikes, the dips. It seems like the new test or the new baseline is around 260, 260, 264. There's some day trading possibilities here as well. But it'll be one of those where you definitely have to catch it when it's low. And it's going to be a slow grinder. So it, it's one of those where because it's $2, you can get 10 cents off of it, depending on the volume that you put in or the capital that you put in. And you could definitely make some income off of it. For instance, like today it started late or it started high. So you want to put it in here. You would have waited until it dropped as low as it possibly could or as low as you're willing to go, which today was around 261. And I say that because then it goes back up to 268. You just made your money. Or it just went to 269. That's 9 cents right there. Now, 9 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about it, depending on what you put in, 9 cents could be an extra $50 a day that you didn't have, or an extra $100 a day, depending on what you put in there. You see? But then, of course, there's the more logical route that most people do, and that is the long term investment. Now, what I mean by the long term investment is still wait for it to get low. Say, for instance, about right there, 264, 261. Hold on to that and just wait. And what I mean by wait is at one point in time, this thing was, let's go to year to date, $3.48. So it's still some time to go right there. Now, nobody's saying that Lucid's gonna all of a sudden do better than Ford, which is around $10.60. But to invest in Lucid right now, with the understanding that eventually it's going to hit $3 or maybe 3.5, that's not a bad move. Now, when we look down at the market cap, of course, it went up a billion, which is good. Average volume. The volume is actually over the average right now. So there's definitely a lot of trading going on. Not any new news really happening right now, but we can definitely see some moves being made and some new buys happening, buys, buys, and sells. So the major companies are doing it. And then there's the other option, which is swing trading. Now, with swing trading, what you would do, you would catch it here and just hold on to it until it gets to a mark you're okay with. Say, for instance, 20 cents. So you catch it at 261, wait for it to get back at 281 or something like that. You sell, wait for it to get back down here and buy. But you wait because some days it's not. Some days it's going to stay right here. Some days it's going to stay right here. But you're doing it with the understanding that eventually it's going to hit that bottom mark that it usually hits. And that's when you're going to buy again. And then when it goes up to a comfortable mark, that's when you're going to sell. So you really could either swing trade, be in it for the long haul, or day trade it. Day trading being probably the least lucrative, to be honest, just because it really doesn't swing that much. You're talking about maybe 10 cents a day, 15 if like some crazy news comes out. But other than that, it's kind of is what it is. But on another note, crypto's actually been moving the market, I think, lately. Uh, XRP's one, but we're gonna look at Dogecoin today. I say Dogecoin because Dogecoin has been moving around between 21 cents and 22 cents. And then even in some cases, if you look at it throughout the week, 23 cents. Now, the reason why this is a positive thing is because Dogecoin is like the best of both worlds. You know, it's the price of a penny stock without the weird volatility. Like if this was a penny stock and you were to put your money into it, it would drop to 15 cents because those are nothing but traps. But with this, because there's so much value, so much constant value going on with it, you don't really have that problem. That's interesting. It doesn't show the. It's not letting me look at the value of the Dogecoin. Here we go. Still not really looking and being able to see the value of it. But anyhow, you see what I mean. Like right now, if you look at the full date, we went from negative 2.32% to positive 2.52%. So that's a 4% change in just one day. And that's with a stock that's cheaper than most penny stocks without the massive volatility that could trap you. So that's definitely something to look at as far as Dogecoin is concerned. What does it say right here? Bitcoin, Ethereum rebound while XRP, Dogecoin struggle. I don't think it's struggling as much as that a lot of people are just day trading it. You know, Ethereum. Let's take a look at that. XRP. I mean, talking about going between $2.28 to $2.39. XRP is probably a little bit more safer, I would say, than Dogecoin, just because one thing about XRP is not going to bite you in the behind. You know, when it goes up and it goes down, it's coming back up. You know, just because it can kind of stand on its own. But you're talking about even today, a low of $2.29, 28 cents, at a high of $2.39. That's not bad at all. Shoot, to be honest, I may start trading XRP. There may be something to this. Catch it low and get it high. Let me see where we're trending at. $2.28. Now let me go ahead and switch this up. I'm gonna say $2.25. Because I actually want to catch it when it's most profitable. And then high, let's say $2.35. So between 25 and 35. That's my range right there. So I may do this for the rest of the week and see what happens. Just do some XRP this week. Go ahead and have some fun. Let's do the math on it. Let me pull out my calculator. All right, so let's say $2. First, let's say if we went in there with, let's just say 600 divided by 2. Hold up, move this out of the way. 2.25 goes 266 shares multiplied by 10 cents. So 0.10 is $26. Now let's do that with $1,000. 1,000 divided by 2.25. 444 times 0.10, extra $44. And you can do the math. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. So let's just say on a good day, all right, you got $2,000 to put down. You just happen to save it up. That's $2,000 divided by 2.25. 888. 888 shares multiplied by, let's just say, 10 cents. There you go, right there. So imagine, at least 5 days a week making an extra $88. What's 88 times? Let's just say 5. Let's say you take 2 days off during the week, because crypto goes on through the weekend too. So let's just say 88 times 5. It's an extra $444 a week. Now let's multiply that by, I'm not going to say 52 weeks because obviously sometimes you don't have time to trade. Let's just say 50 weeks. All right, times 50 weeks. That's an extra 22 grand a year. If you're making 80,000 a year, you just became a six-figure person. But of course, you would have to go in with the 2 grand to be able to do that, and it'll work your way there. But either way, we can definitely see the XRP. Sometimes it doesn't get the love that it deserves. Especially seeing how it's a stock or a crypto that has an ETF behind it. Actually, yeah, and that's the XRP ETF, the 2x long, 2 times long daily XRP ETF. It's $36.13 at this morning. Now the thing about this is you just can't get in any time of the day. So let's just say you got in at the beginning of the market opening. Let's just say 9:30. I'm talking about $34, and by the end of the day, would have made $2. So you know what? Let's go ahead and quantify this. We're making a change today because this is making sense. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Pfizer gone, Texas Instrument gone, Webull one day, but right now I'm gonna keep Webull. Dick's Sporting Goods gone, Palantir gone, Allergen keeping you. If that thing hits 88 cents, I'm going in. Realty Income, I'll be back one day. VNet Group gone, Sports Funds and Trust gone, Amazon gone, Nvidia gone, AMD gone, Cipher Mining gone, TeraWolf, I missed out on that one, gone, Robinhood Markets gone. And then let's go ahead and add, let me see if I can get it up there. There we go. And where's my XRP? Let me get XRP up there too. Put that in there. All right. Go back to it. Why isn't my XRP showing up? Let me go back and try to get it again. May have to hit this. No, it's there. Let me hit reset again. Refresh. There we go. That's the new list. That's the new list right there. Allergen gets under $1, we going in. We bull hits 1180 again, we going in. This right here, if I see that say anything over 4%, matter of fact, let me go ahead and check it. Yeah. Anything over 4 or 5% with this XRP ETF, we going in. And as soon as I see a 2 on the other side of that decimal for XRP, we going in. That's the new move. We just streamlined it down to 4 stocks or 3 stocks in crypto. Let's go. All right. So hopefully everybody has a good day, and let's continue trading. Don't forget to like, don't forget to follow. This is Mike Dub, 27 Day Trader. I'm out. Deuces.